Hi, this is iAllegedly. I'm Dan. Welcome back. Got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about buy now, pay later. And man, oh man, more and more people want to just put themselves in a bad spot. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, but let's get right into it. Klarna is one of the world's largest buy now, pay later companies. And this is very relevant right now because Visa has just agreed to do something that is kind of crazy. And what they're doing is they're letting people have what they call a flex credential card. What is that? It's a Visa card that allows you to go from, Visa requirements to buy now, pay later. Now, I keep wanting to say pain later, and I got to thank my friend Mike Adams for coming up with that title because it's just absolutely brilliant. But the idea with this is people don't want to look at what's going on with the world and will they have a difficult time, later on. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, you will, and things are going to get very, very tough. I walked up to the doggy park and there's no pooches up here right now. So they got the small dog area and the large dog area, but this is a nice little park in Newport Beach to walk around and talk about this stuff. But think about this, guys. In Japan, they have millions of people that are using this. And what are they finding? That people are not paying off the cards with the buy now, pay later. They're doing it and putting it off later and getting themselves deeper into debt. But they give you a credit line that they will easily raise and let people borrow more and more money. That is not the way to live your life right now at all. You want to be debt free. You don't want to owe anybody any money. You don't want to extend it, any bills that you can right now. Pay cash for everything. Dave Ramsey's right about one thing about using the debit card and not the credit card. Now, the advantage to the credit card is if you use it and you have fraud, then you can easily dispute it. My buddy Dave calls me this morning and says, hey, I had a problem with my brand new card. He had a card, never activated it for a year. They sent him out a new card, and sure enough, within a few weeks, he's getting these ridiculous little charges. Nothing major, $20, $11.95, but he's like, hey, the card's in my hand, and I'm not doing this. So it has nothing, it's nothing I've charged. So the problem with this is that people are fishing to see what's on the account, what's available, and then they're going to hit him hard. Well, when he called the credit card company for the credit union, they could have cared less. You sure, sir? You sure you didn't buy that? I've never been to this store. I've never been out of state like that to this, to Florida and all the stuff that they were asking him. It was ridiculous. But this is going to create a bigger problem. Now, in our last video, we talked about how you have the banks that are shutting things down. Now, here's a great story from USA Bank. US Bank. US Bank sits down and says, here's the reasons that we would potentially close your account down. They're going to start doing this. They're going to hang you out to dry. People are going to be extended credit. People are going to buy things, and then they're going to sit there, and after they do that, they're going to shut the credit cards off, and you're going to have to pay it. Or the thing that we saw 3 years ago that was nuts was, let's say you have an $8,000 credit line, and then all of a sudden they lower your credit line to $6,000. Well, I owe $7,500 on the card. Yeah, you better pay it below $6,000 or you'll never get to use the card. Okay? So you're in a trap. You got to pay the card off. You have to pay the card off anyways. It's just the way the rules work. So this is happening with everybody. Now, that's funny. As I was researching this video, I was also researching, people losing their jobs. And Melanie Arenkins, she started a way of making money where she got laid off a year ago, and then she started an email newsletter, and the newsletter now has 10,000 people to it that she's writing, and now she's selling ads on it, which fascinated me because who are you selling ads to? Everybody's out of work, and if they're out of work, how are they paying for anything? Well, what she did was she had the sponsors pay for things and give things away for free, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. But then my buddy that we've talked about in the past, got a call today, and he got a cryptic message. We're on the West Coast at just past 6 a.m. that the marketing team had been let go, the entire marketing team. Now, he's not in marketing. He was number 4 in the company. Okay? When I say was, they let him go today. They let go of 38 managers in the company. And again, 2 weeks ago, there's no way they're going to get rid of me. There's no way. Now, I've known this guy since we were kids, and he's very conservative financially, and is just a good guy, okay? But that guy just closed escrow on a house 8 days ago. Hello, 8 days ago. I got the house, and we were joking, we were laughing about this, and but man, oh man, guys, if this was now, he wouldn't get the house, because when they do the verification for the employment, he would be done. So, all the doggies walking through this area. So, he's fine. He got a severance package. I don't know the details. And he already started getting contacted by recruiters and things like that. But I'm telling you guys, this world is getting turned upside down. Rite Aid closes, and they're closing 1,200 of their locations. And I felt really bad about the woman I met in Costa Mesa, California, because she had been there and she was very close to retirement and less than 18 months away, and now she has nothing. But now in the Northeast part of the country, 78 stores are going to be taken over by Giant Eagle, which is a drugstore store, and they're going to take over 78 of the Rite Aid. So never heard Giant Eagle before. And this is actually good news for those people, because they're going to try to transfer all the prescriptions to Giant Eagle. They're going to try to make it so that these people get to keep their jobs too that work there. So that's very, very good news. But guys, it's a tumultuous time right now. It's not a good time. But also, what can you do to make money outside of this? A woman loses her job and starts a newsletter, and the newsletter has 10,000 people that she's earning a living on, talking about what to do when you're unemployed and you get laid off, which I thought that's a brilliant idea. That's absolutely brilliant. And I didn't realize I was going to be referring my friend to it an hour later, but crazy. We've seen all these cuts. Think about this. You've got AutoZone, okay? They thought they were going to do 4.3 billion in sales. They did 4.5 billion in sales, but the profits dropped 6.5%. The problem that everybody doesn't get, inflation is going down. It is. It's dropping. It's cooling off. The problem with it is that prices are up to here now. Shot up, and now it's starting to cool down. Too little, too late? That's what I think. I think that I was reading articles, and do I bore the audience with this? Because I think this is boring. What's food like here compared to Japan, compared to Canada? And it's expensive everywhere, but yeah, you got certain things here that are cheaper than in Canada, and everybody's shopping patterns are different. But I'm telling you guys, just try not to waste money, try not to waste anything you can on nothing that you need right now, because one thing that's wild, the lady that cuts my hair, hang on, look fantastic. Yeah. Jen, hey, are you still trying to sell your cars? Yeah. Well, my husband could kick himself, because think about this. He got a Tesla from 2017. I'm like, wow, that's an old Tesla. And he contacted the CarMax, and CarMax was going to give him, you guys listening, $15,000 for this car, 15 grand. I'm like, oh, is that a good price for a Tesla? I don't know. Well, this is a cool Tesla because it was one of the original models, and with the original model, you get free charging. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? She goes, it's very cool, Dan. When you pull up, it knows the car, so the car doesn't get charged to get energy. Now that's a cool feature. But when he went to Northern California for a trial, he's a lawyer. When he went to Northern California, he had to stop 6 times on the way there. Where if you would have driven a gas car, you would have stopped once, maybe, and that's it. So, again, too much. But it gets better. The wife is like, hey, you should sell that car. Let's get rid of it. Let's take the offer. Well, then you had the spring of love with Elon, and guess what they offered him recently? 8 grand, 8,000, from 15,000 down to 8,000. Nobody wants your jalopy, guys. This is 4 months difference. Okay. Well, wow. Do you put a lot of miles in the car? No, 200. Okay. But that's how much the value of that car has dropped that quickly. Hello. I mean, God, guys, you know, we live in such a crazy world and everybody's so angry with everybody else. But man, I'm telling you guys, you're going to see more and more problems with this stuff. The buy now, pay later stuff is absolutely ridiculous right now. Secret Service agents went out in North Carolina and did a sting to see if they could find out, think about this, if they could find any machines that were taking EBT cards, which are the welfare cards, that shouldn't be. And they did a swoop throughout North Carolina because it had a big cluster of money that was spent and wasted from the federal government. They hit 400 locations and found 17 of those machines. Of the 17 machines that they caught that were fraudulent, $5.1 million worth of fraud was done through those locations and stopped. Isn't that insane? So I think the store owners are in on it. You know, it's just interesting to say the least. But oh man, you know, the Mead paper mill in God, I want to get the name of this, Chickasaw, Ohio, shut down. Place has been there for 90 years. Done. Everybody's losing their jobs. It's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know, we're seeing all these different news stories and videos about how Amazon prices are going up. Everything's going up, guys. Everything's going up. And you haven't even seen the tariffs really hit yet. You've just seen the threat of tariffs. And you've also seen things go up and double in price over the course of the last 60 days. But again, selling cars right now, because my buddy's like, hey, I got more time. It's my buddy's the car guy that does it as a hobby. I'll get all your cars sold. So, okay, thanks, bud. So he's going to help me with that. But again, guys, crazy. 2 things to end this video was, you know, again, we have a private channel, iAllegedly Live. You sign up at iAllegedly.tv. I love doing this because it's uncensored. It is everything that we cannot talk about here. Check it out today, iAllegedly.tv. Put that in your browser and go check it out today. But guys, I'm telling you, when you see all these different things that are happening with scams and things like that, and you get banks are now, U.S. Bank, coming out and saying, hey, here's why we would shut your account down. They're going to start doing this, guys. If you have a U.S. bank account, you better be in pristine shape. If you are overdrawn at all, they can shut you down for that. Now, they're saying things like this. Couple of things to end this with. A family is receiving hundreds of packages from Amazon, and they're in Pennsylvania. And it's things that they did not order, but there is a scam called brushing. And what brushing is that you get random things sent to you, and basically it's to your address to somebody else's name. And then what they do is these people go out and they write reviews for the products. And the woman is furious over this. You can see the story below. It'll be second to the last one. And she's talking about, hey, we didn't order any of this stuff. And it's things that this family would have no interest in. It wasn't anything weird, but it would be like screen protectors and different tools and things like that. But they're trying to find if there's any reviews written, because what these people do is they send the products out, then somebody writes a glowing review because they have the account. And then with that glowing review, you get more sales. Now, back in the day, 10 years ago, you could go to Amazon, you could buy reviews. You could get, hey, I'll do 25 reviews of your product for $200. And people would pay people for this. And then they got wind of that scam and got rid of that. So, kind of crazy, guys. Now, I want to finish this story with something that is near and dear to me. And you guys know that my late girlfriend was a law professor. And she taught people to pass the California bar exam. And for 12 years of my life, guys, I lived that. I lived every February with people taking the test, and every November and every May, people getting their results back, and then every November getting the results back, and Lisa having her selling season and teaching all these people to pass the bar exam. Well, the California bar exam had a problem where it was determined that some of the questions on the latest exam were written by AI and not from the bar examiners. So people were upset about this because they got wind of it, and a lot of people failed. So what did the California bar exam do? They just waved their magic wand and let 230 people now say, hey, you have passing grades, you get to become a lawyer. Could you imagine a participation trophy for a lawyer? Think about this. I had a date last week with a lawyer, criminal defense attorney, who has over 100 clients right now that have done bad things. And people have hurt people and killed people and done heinous stuff. And she's getting them deals and explaining this and how she's in court, every day basically dealing with stuff like this. But imagine your life is on the line. Let's say you didn't do it. Okay, let's just play that game. You didn't do it, you didn't kill anybody, and she's negotiating for you. Wouldn't you rather have somebody like that who went to a good law school, passed the test, and is negotiating your life right now? Or would you rather have somebody that they just gave the passing grade to? Because I'm telling you, nobody knows what you got on the exam, and it's absolute BS. It's absolutely criminal that they did this. So I'm furious about this, guys, because again, the participation trophy of life. Remember, last video we talked about the engineer that people just took his stamp and stamped all those buildings, and now buildings are falling down and they can't sell houses because they had that guy's stamp on it. How about the doctor? My nephew, okay, my niece's husband, just became a resident, not a resident, but he just got hired as a doctor. He is Dr. Steven right now. So Steve is out there practicing, but spent 10 years of his life to become a doctor. Now just give him a license. He seems dedicated to this. Where do you people come from that you think that this is okay? Or is it just a frickin' California problem? I don't know, but I hate this. I hate this idea, and these people are going to be horrible lawyers. They're not going to be a good lawyer. The bar is a bar. Hey, we need you to join the military. You need to be able to do 25 pull-ups. I can't do that. Out of shape. Okay, well, guess what? You don't get in. Okay, well, I want to become a lawyer. Here you go. You passed. That test was tough. Those questions shouldn't have been asked of you. Are you out of your mind? Okay? How about the guy who's offered, he could face 80 years to life, or they offered him 6 years? I'd rather have somebody that passed the exam negotiating that deal over that. Now, again, I'm not talking about the guy's guilt or innocence or any shenanigans like that. I'm talking about somebody qualified. I'm talking about my mechanic that when I drive my car to him, I know he's fixed 5,000 cars, and that's what he's into. You know what I'm saying? But you want to give somebody a license? What's wrong with you people? Seriously. This is infuriating that you think that this is okay. Again, ask questions of people when you hire them. How long have you done this? How many trials have you had? Where'd you go to school at? How many times you take the bar exam? I ask questions like that of people. Wow. Nobody's ever asked me that. Yeah, because they're stupid. Okay? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go see one little pup before we get out of here. Okay? I'll bring Rosie soon. Okay? You want to email me, it's hello@iAllegedly. Tell me I'm wrong about this state bar thing or the buy now, pain later. Mike Adams is 100% right about this, because you're going to see more and more people that are going to spend themselves into oblivion because I'll make the money tomorrow. What about my friend that just lost his job? What do you guys think about that? Okay? Good luck. I'll see you soon. Okay? You're stuck with me. Okay? Goodbye.